Generic greetings and welcome back to Prison Architect. In the previous episode, I should probably get rid of that light, shouldn't I? Because it's right in front of the main entrance. Not good. Anyway, in the previous episode, we did some more building, and as you can hopefully quite clearly see here, we have got a fairly decent way forward. We have, in no particular order, 2 yards, which have workbenches and benches in there, lots of benches. We have our visitation area, which does require some additional metal detectors, so I'm just going to add those in now before I forget. There we go. We have a room back here which currently doesn't serve a purpose, and yeah, we'll have to sort that out. We've got a kitchen and canteen which is big enough for the feeding of all of the prisoners that'll be in this dormitory. Obviously shower there, and then a workshop at the back which we haven't yet built, and everything else down the bottom as well, which includes parole and cleaning cupboard and laundry. The main thing that we don't have is a recreational area, so we do need another room where we can have a common room specifically and have things like pool tables and TVs and things like that. And that's what this building is going to become temporarily. I did mention that in the back end of last episode, but when we expand, it'll be moved over to probably this side. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, this was going to be, I believe, the kennel and security, although, to be fair, the room does change. I will probably make it a kennel because I think we need dogs sooner rather than later, although we do now have the option to search toilets, so that's a good thing. Anyway, so we'll be getting prisoners later on during the episode. In fact, what I'll do is I'll go over to intake and I'll just say to fill capacity and change this all the way down to only minimum security because, well, that's what we're going to have. So next intake will be 26. It does say 26 available there. Our overall capacity is 28. We don't, as you might notice, have anywhere for protective custody or anything like that. The plan was always to not have it, although we might add it later on if needs be. What I need to do is to change some of the power stations, and what I'm going to do is go to power station here. I'm going to place one in there, and then I'm going to place just all the capacitors I can in and around there. Now, I know that's going to cost money, but since I had 70 odd grand, I wasn't really too fussed on spending it. So we're going to place that in there. We'll also go ahead and go down to flooring, and we're going to place some concrete tiles. They're going to go along there, up here, and then finally up there as well, just so that we have good access to this workshop and the dormitory and all of that good stuff. So the reason we're building this is because we want to overhaul the power grid, and I want to do that sooner rather than later, because if we don't, then it's going to be a nightmare and prisoners will be here, and we just don't want to be dealing with that while the the prisoners are here. So we're going to place that in now. We will probably go ahead and rethink how things are connected. So this these two areas plus this will be connected to one grid. This one will then power probably all of this. So that's probably what we'll do. We might be able to get away with 2 workshops on one, but I don't want to risk it, and we did plan for the 3 there. So I'll go ahead and probably run this cable right along like so. That should probably solve that problem, and then I will do I want to split it up now? I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll plan just how many things we can get in these workshops here. So we did go for this like sort of 3-3-3 format. I'm going to actually use objects rather than anything else. I'll unpause it as well and crack on there. So 3-3-3. We'll do the same down here as well. So we can have a total of, how many? It would be 4, 8, 12, 4, 8, 12. So we'll have 12 of each machine, so that's more than enough, and then we can have a nice set of tables and benches along that side. Actually, not benches, sorry, just tables. Let's just place the tables in there, and we should get them roughly centered. In fact, what I'll do is I'll place them like that, and then because inevitably we will be finding some items that are nicked, we're going to place some bins there in between them. We could also do the same for tables over this corner, and I think that would be probably look okay. Actually, do I want to do that? No, because I want to leave a bit of a gap over this side to have a carpenter's table. Right, that's fine. Okay, so workshop saws, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you can put them right next to each other, but I don't mind this layout as it stands. We're only going to put, we're not going to completely fill it at the moment. We're just going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll have basically 8 of each one, and that's already a hell of a lot of money. We've spent over 50 grand in, well, less than 5 minutes, so that's quite a big outlay. Oh, we will go ahead and place our visit table in here, which does rotate all the way around, which is quite nice, and we'll place it like so. We do have a little bit more cash there because we've we've finished our long-term investment there, which is good. Going to go back over to grants. We've got visitation rights, we've got governmental security rating. We're going to go for visitation rights because a lot of that is pretty much completed anyway. there. So visitation room, 3 visitor tables. We need a common room, pool table, 2 TVs, 5 phone booths, all of that stuff. So we're going to go over to our objects, and we're going to go for a phone booth, and we're going to place them in here. So I'll have a big row there and a big row there, and that'll be that pretty much sorted. In terms of rooms, we're going to place our common room on the back there like so. I'll preemptively place this brick wall in because that will eventually have the metal detectors there. So we're going to max speed out and let them crack on. We will be receiving the prisoners in the morning. I just want to double check our staffing situation. We have a total of 10 guards, which is not enough, I don't think, for what we've got. In terms of our staff, we have 8 workers. That hasn't altered since we started the game. Administrators are all as standard. Our staffing is fine for the most part, except that there is no current way to heal prisoners because we haven't got a room for these two, and also we don't have as many chefs as we need. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 cooks, and that should do us quite nicely. In terms of the foreman, we will be hiring some more and probably putting them on the far left there. Just going to double check the grid. You can see that is running at sort of about half level there, and I'm just going to run a electrical cable like so, and that will mean that hopefully all of these should be connected, because it does place, if memory serves, it puts an electrical cable to the right of the recently placed object. So that's fine. Whether or not we split this grid up, it'll all depend on exactly how they get on with it. In terms of our deployment, we're just going to double check that. We can see that it is staff only for a lot of places, but a lot of it is also just open up as well. The walkway around the outside is staff only. There's a weird section there that's now staff only. Visitation and the other stuff is open. We are going to allow people to work in the kitchen. We're not going to change it to MedSec. We're not going to have directions, so they go in one way and exit the other. We're not going to bother with that. We do want, however, to go to prison labour and just see that, yeah, you can see everything is assigned there, so that's fine. That does mean starting some programs, and I think what I'll do is I'll go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more guards. We also want some dog handlers, but we currently don't have anywhere for them to... rest, so I'm going to place them in there. I'm going to go over to rooms and put a kennel in there like so, and we will go for dog crates, which I don't know which way that's supposed to be. I don't think it matters much, to be honest with you. So we're just going to go kennel and then kennel. And that's probably going to be a very smelly room. Right, so you can see this is getting built. Power grid is starting to increase in terms of its usage, but we should be all right. So I'm thinking, do I want to migrate this over now? I probably do. And what I'm going to do then is I will dismantle... I'll dismantle utility there. No, we actually need those. I'll dismantle utility there, those ones there. I will prioritize the dismantling of that. And then I'll connect the electrical cable up to there. And then that means that this grid is only powering a tiny section, and that is going to power all of this, which still hasn't got a decent division of... it's still not an even distribution, but there you go. Anyway, this is our first intake. As you can see, we now have some prisoners who are happily getting searched. Well, say happily, we don't know that. We don't know what their opinion is. We do. They are not happy about being searched. Let's go over to our intelligence and our last 24 hours found. You can see we've found a fork that's been brought in. In terms of informants, we do have an ex-law enforcement and an unknown trait there. So ex-law enforcement is technically in any normal facility, it would be dangerous to keep them in and around the place with other prisoners. That is still technically correct. They can be attacked, however, because these are low-risk prisoners and a very low chance of anyone... I wouldn't say low chance of anyone being attacked, but very low chance of having traits that make them want to be aggressive, so they don't have... volatile, or don't have strong, deadly, any of those traits. It's less likely that they'll be attacked. I'm not going to say unlikely because I actually don't know. So we'll just see how it goes. Anyway, I digress. So we're going to go over to programs here, and we want to fire up a workshop safety induction. want to fire up probably a couple of those. As many as we can go, actually. That probably does us. We're going to start up 2 kitchen safety and hygienes, and that should be... Oh, spiritual guidance is also there, but we don't have a church, so that's a bit problematic. Anyway, I have prioritised this, but at the moment things are not happening. I'm guessing simply because of the amount of work that's been done in and around the facility anyway. It looks like these are being escorted to their cells, and they actually say working, but it doesn't say what they're working on. But obviously there'll be people that will be assigned to the cleaning cupboard, to the laundry, over to working in here. So there's a lot of that stuff going on. Danger level is increasing naturally, and that is just the nature of the beast there. It does say that they are they're unable to be escorted to cells. Why is that? No free cells for this prisoner. I dispute that assessment. There should be. Yeah, there we go. They are eventually going to do that. I have prioritized this, and it looks like even though I have prioritized the building, or dismantling rather, of this, it doesn't seem to be doing it. Anyway, we're going to go over to deployment here. We're going to go to guard patrols. You can see we've got a guard patrol in and around the workshop and things like that. I'm going to remove that one simply because I do actually want them to patrol. So I'm going to have them go along and then down and then across and then back up again like so. And that's the decent patrol there. Visitation will require the same thing. However, I am going to set that as a dog patrol just because they'll be able to smell out any narcotics and things like that. Speaking of patrols, we do want to assign some patrols for the facility with dogs. So we're going to have one going there. We'll have one going probably to there, like so. I know there's a little bit of a gap there, and that's probably quite bad. I was going to... Do I extend it? Actually, you know what? I can extend it all the way to the end. That isn't actually a big problem there. Obviously, there's a little bit of a gap, but it's not too much of an issue. We are going to assign 1, 2, 3 dogs to that, and then on the other side, we'll have the exact same thing. So there is a gap here, but the chances are they won't they won't know, nor will they really care that that is the case. So that's all in there. I am going to hire 1, 2, 3, 4 more dog handlers there. You can see that we are still waiting for someone to come along and remove these, and I don't know why, because I have prioritized it. You can see the that is set to urgent there. The laundry machines are now working. I believe someone asked in the previous episode, can you rotate the laundry machines? Yes, you can. You can see they now all rotate. Everything in the game is rotatable now. It has been set so it can do that. So it looks like everybody has been escorted to the cells. It's currently got a lock up there. Just having a quick look to see if we can find it. Oh, it looks like the dismantling of the electrical cable that I've ordered has now been completed. I will now prioritize the building of the other one, if you please, just because, well, lights out, as you can quite clearly see. And there we go. So that now is running at, it looks like to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bars. So that's just over half. With the additional stuff in this workshop, I very much doubt we will be able to build anything in and around here. So that's something we're going to have a think about. But for the time being, I'm not really too concerned about this building, simply because we will be having this set as a workshop anyway, so that's going to go up to there. That should hopefully connect some of the lights, but will be when we do this, it'll be a bit better anyway. So this is where we need things like pool tables and stuff, and we're going to put those things in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, this is a very temporary area at the moment, so we're not gonna be too precious on how we build these things. We're just gonna, place some stuff in enough to entertain the prisoners, I think. And I think that should probably be about right. And considering that we're going to have a couple more TVs as well, that should be just about there. So, we still haven't built this little bit back here. This is where we were going to have a toilet. And I'm still tempted to build it. However, I'm also tempted to redesign it slightly and make it a bit bigger, considering the size of it. Although, there might be a better way of doing it anyway. So, if we have it coming along with an entrance there, that's not great. Entrance there will be probably... is that better? I don't really know. I'd like to have, ideally, something like... don't know, something so they go round and then it's sort of like lined all the way there. Ideally, I would like nice separate areas with walls in it, but it's just not going to happen. Not the size that we've assigned to this. We could just have it open, but no, I don't think we really want an open toilet to the canteen. That would be not conducive, and also well, conducive to people keeping their lunch in, but also it probably breaks a couple of health and safety regulations and food standard and cleanliness and hygiene and other such things. It's also quite unsightly, isn't it? Anyway, haven't yet decided. You know what we'll do? We will just put them right along here. No, that's not going to happen. I'm probably just going to put a big row there. And a row in there, and the reason for that is I can place a brick wall along there, and then now see that doesn't do anything. That and that, and then I can have a row either side, and that's the most that I can have, I think. And we will put, no, we won't put a door on it because a door will not work out for us. Anyway, so it looks like the prisoners are in here, as you can see, so they are working. In terms of our dog patrols, we do have some set, but what I'm tempted to do is have a dog patrol assigned to go around every dormitory. The problem with that, it means that when these are next to each other, it's not going to work very well, but it should be okay. It should be better. I'll force open these doors here. I should have done that earlier. My apologies. And that's going to get those open, just to make it a bit quicker for them to go in and out. I'll lock that door open as well, because we might as well. And this is where we'll probably find that we'll have a lot of issues when it comes to the prisoners trying to escape via tunneling. So, the common room over here, I might as well go ahead and lock that door open, like so, because there's nothing that can really be taken from there. These doors are all fine, those are fine, and yeah, that's about right. Okay, so, we probably pick up another grant, I think. Yeah, we've got governmental security ratings. Nutritional research isn't a terrible idea, because it's prisoners who have just recently turned up and there's not many of them, so we're best getting that done earlier, sooner rather than later. So what I'll do, because they've recently arrived, we're going to make sure that we give them a high quantity, high variety meal, and we'll do that for a total of 2 days, and you have to do it 3 times per day. So serve 3 high variety, high quantity meals for 2 days. That is on the go. This is all fine, that's alright, checking up there, right, that should be okay. We haven't yet set a parole or anything like that, because I don't think we need to. Haven't yet got this other building built for the dormitory, but I think what we'll do is go building brick, and we will place this one in here, and then we'll start working on our next dormitory. Obviously, the priority, I wouldn't say the priority, but our overall goal for this facility was expansion, so we can expand in multiple areas, and also giving prisoners jobs, so in this case the workshop. So we'll place we'll connect the toilet right up to the same plumbing as the washing machines, and hope we don't mess that up. It looks like there's been a slew of people running to the shower there, which I know there's been some discussion regarding the entrances, as in basically we don't even need this wall or the door, which I should actually lock open as well. In fact, do I need that? Let me just double check. Shower, it does require a shower head, so I'm going to actually dismantle that door. There's no reason for that door to be there. So we'll see what happens. So we'll get rid of that, and that should hopefully improve the situation a little bit. So we have received a couple more prisoners. There you go. We're just going to have a quick look in informants. We can see there's no traits there. Ex-law enforcement still there, plus this unknown trait from Ed Kantopfer. Prisoner number 2262469. Counterfeiting currency, video game piracy, indie video game piracy, criminal damage, and criminal damage. Cool. Well, not cool, but, you know, at least they're not homicidal maniacs, as far as we're aware. That's why that requires that to be enclosed. So the question then is, can we instead then go to dormitory and set all that to dormitory? And yes, we can. So that is not a shower, but it is it is a dormitory, but it also means that that is a room quality of 4. Current occupants 7, and don't say they've been unassigned. That might have happened. They might have been unassigned. Right, in that particular case then, what I'm going to do is not use cell quality rating, so that now should have prisoners be assigned. See that? All of these prisoners can't be assigned to a cell. That's what it's telling me now. And that's now going up because I've just turned off the cell quality ratings. Yeah, I think the minimum, I think the grading mattered. The grading matters, and I think it's like, you can go, let me get this right. You can have a prisoner assigned to an area that is much worse than they are entitled to. There's no limit on that. But if they're entitled to a certain grade, and I think if the grade is 2 or more over that, then they will be reassigned, and that's exactly what happened there, which is why I turned that quality rating off. I would have liked to keep it on, but I don't think it really matters, and also that's going down. You can see that's see, it's gone down to grade 2 now, just because as soon as we assigned it with this shower, it kicked a load of people out because of just the sequence. So it right, usually not allowed, that bump, they go out, and then because of that the room quality went up because of its certain size per prisoner that was assigned there, and then we turned it back off, so there's more prisoners assigned, which means the room quality goes down, and yeah, that's all kinds of dodgy. Right, so that's all set. We will just check over here. We can see that we have a couple of prisoners, specifically 3 prisoners who are in this workshop. They're training. I'm just going to double check our programs and see that workshop safety induction 3 finished and 3 have passed. It doesn't seem to me that any of the rest of them are too bothered about training, so I'm going to remove some of those. There's a carpentry apprenticeship that some are interested in, which is really good. And what I'm going to do is start parole hearing as well, because we do have parole in here, and there's also some requirement for me to do that. Also, I think I want to go for carpentry apprenticeship. We will start that apprenticeship. It does say no equipment, so I'll actually stop that and put said equipment in there. So we'll go for a carpenter's table, which was going to go in that corner, but it doesn't look like it's going to fit. Yeah, that's all kinds of bad. Okay, what I'll do is I will dismantle that table there, and I'll just probably... Do I want to dismantle the other one? No, I'll dismantle these bins, and then I'll shift them around. I'll also force open that door. Automatic door openers would be very beneficial. There's some discussion, I think, to be had about the type of prisoners that we've got. We're currently a low-risk prison. And the advantage of that is that we can get away with certain things that you just can't in other facilities. Let me just place that in there. That fits quite nicely. And then maybe even a table there with a bin next to it, so we can just start cloning it. Oh, look, yeah, I don't mind that. Let me put it to the wheels at the back. Right. Yeah, so as I said, it's a low-risk prison. The advantage is you can get away with things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to in other facilities, I guess. There's many advantages for doing it. Mainly difficulty is the sort of the main factor. However, there's several disadvantages. Money, you don't get a lot of money for the prisoners that you have. They tend to leave quite quickly via parole. If you have parole, so we could, if we want to, turn off parole, and it means that they will stay here longer. And the reason you want to do that is if you're training the prisoners up in the workshop and and doing all of that training, and then they leave, you'll have to retrain, and you don't have a lot of people working in the workshop. Also, low-risk prisoners don't really. I mean, you can see we've got 3 prisoners past this workshop safety induction, but there's no more interested because they're not really disposed for physical labour and all that. They're not really too bothered. I'm going to search the toilets because we haven't yet done so in this series, or in any series, because it's a new feature, and we can see we found a bottle of booze in there, but we didn't find any tunnels, so we've got that going for us, which is nice. So there's that sorted. So yeah, there might be a point in the series where we decide, you know what, this isn't working, we are going to turn off parole, or maybe get some medium risk prisoners, or a combination of both of that. We'll just have to see how we go. We're currently losing money per day. However, we are also producing license plates, so that's good. We are going through our inmate nutritional research, and we are trying to raise our capacity, which can be done by simply cloning the dormitory, which I think we will, well, Do we have the option to do that? I probably do. And let's just see if we can build it all. And there we go. There is 10 grand spent, and that's another dormitory, which means that hopefully we're going to get some more prisoners, and it will be not too bad. In terms of our capacity, that's going to go up. We'll get that grant done, get more prisoners, blah, blah, all the usual stuff. Excellent. Right, I'm going to run an electrical cable out this way, up, and then into the back there. And we'll actually run it into here as well, because this is going to be powered by that one at a minimum. Ideally, this should be there. I know we'll have to change it up, but you know, it's a futurist problem and it's not exactly the end of the world. Right, we're going to leave it there. Next episode, we will go ahead and get some more prisoners. In fact, we should be getting them. Actually, we won't be able to get them today because it's nowhere near done and there's a lot of building. But progress is good. We have prisoners. We probably have some reform. In fact, if I check my prison grading, 0 prisoners have been released. So eventually that'll happen, and hopefully we'll have a decent grading. Certainly can't be any worse than the last one. Or can it? No, it can't. Right, okay, so next episode, as I said, we'll see how we get on when it comes to additional prisoners and how many people will work in the workshop. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video and the series thus far. Comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.